The night my husband left me, he didn't just break my heart. He destroyed my entire life. And the worst part, he didn't leave me for a stranger. He left me for my best friend. They thought I would never recover. They thought I was finished. But 3 years later, they walked into my office, begging for a job. And that's when I realized, karma doesn't forget. My life used to look perfect. A loving husband, Daniel. A best friend, Lisa. A stable home, a peaceful routine. I trusted them both with everything. Lisa was like a sister to me. She knew my secrets, my fears, my dreams. And Daniel, he was my world. At least, that's what I believed. It started with small changes. Daniel became distant. Lisa started visiting more often. At first, I didn't think much of it. But one night, everything changed. I came home early from work. The house was silent. Too silent. Then I heard laughter from the bedroom. My heart dropped. And when I opened the door, my entire world shattered. Daniel and Lisa. Together. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't speak. Lisa tried to explain. Daniel avoided my eyes. But nothing they said mattered. Because the truth was already clear. They had betrayed me. The two people I trusted the most had destroyed me. Within a week, Daniel filed for divorce. And Lisa, she moved in with him. The months after that were the darkest of my life. I lost my home. I lost my marriage. I lost my best friend. Some days I couldn't even get out of bed. People whispered behind my back. Poor girl, she couldn't keep her husband. But they didn't know the truth. They didn't know the pain. One day, while sitting alone, I looked at myself in the mirror. And I asked one question. Is this how my story ends? And for the first time, the answer was no. That day, I made a decision. I would rebuild my life. Not for them. Not to prove anything. But for myself. I started from zero. I took a small job in a struggling company. Long hours. Low pay. But I worked harder than anyone. I learned everything. Business, management, strategy. Within a year, I got promoted. Within 2 years, I was leading a team. And in the 3rd year, I took the biggest risk of my life. I started my own company. It wasn't easy. There were sleepless nights. Moments of doubt. But I kept going. And slowly, things began to change. My company grew. Clients increased. Profits doubled. And before I realized it, I had built something powerful. Something they never imagined I could. 3 years later, I was sitting in my office reviewing applications. We were hiring new staff. One resume caught my attention. Then another. My hands froze. Because the names were familiar. Daniel. Lisa. I decided to meet them. When they walked into my office, they didn't recognize me at first. Until I spoke. Their faces changed instantly. Shock. Fear. Regret. All at once. Lisa whispered. Is this your company? I smiled calmly. Yes. Daniel looked embarrassed. Lisa looked ashamed. They explained how their lives fell apart. Financial problems. Job losses. Regret. Then Daniel said quietly, we really need this job. The room went silent. Because now, the power was mine. I looked at them. The same people who once destroyed me. And I said something they would never forget. I forgive you. They looked relieved. But then I added. But forgiveness doesn't mean giving you a place in my life again. I stood up. You can leave now. As they walked out of my office, I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel pain. I felt something stronger. Peace. Because the woman they once broke was now the woman who didn't need them anymore. And that was the greatest revenge of all.